Steel City. Is everybody ready to go? Let's proclaim the greatest radio show.
Welcome, fans, to another episode of The Spread. I'm your host, Jim Sella, in studio with Jay Dash and Big Easy.
Yep.
We got a Bucko segment for you today. We're going to talk about some Pirate trade deadline deals and updates. They got Aramis Ramirez already. They were looking to try to get Ben Zobrist. They lost out to the Royals. Am I correct there?
Ben Zobrist.
Coming up short always is what the Pirates' MO. They like to say they're going to get these big-name players, and then
it's
they're
not
like,
them saying it. They were out
we're
there.
We're going to get this guy. We're going to get this guy.
Whatever.
Oh, man, we tried, but looks like we can't do it.
They could probably make it any deal.
We can't up our payroll, fans. Sorry, we're in a small market, but, you know, the Royals, they only spend like $44 million than we do every year, and they're in the same market.
Every year. Now you're just making up stuff.
Well,
That's exactly what you're doing.
This year they're spending $44 million in the Pirates almost.
Well, their payroll right now, after those trades, they're not paying those full deals and their rental players, man. That's what happens. And they were in on Ben Zobrist. There's no doubt about it. They were one of the last two teams in on him. Now, the Yankees were in on him. The Nationals were in on him. They fell off. It was the Royals or the Pirates, and then the Royals ended up getting him. But if you look, I mean, you got Marte, Kutch, Polanco, Aram, Gung, Walker, Pedro, Cervelli, Harrison, Mercer, Stewart, and Rodriguez. If you'd have brought in Zobrist, that would have filled out the roster. So there's one more bat you can bring in right now. And I was wishing it was Zobrist. I wanted Zobrist and Kazmir if you go back and listen to our first trade deadline segment for the Pirates. These were my two guys, and I was pumped when they were still in on them at the end.
Now, what did they give up for Kazmir? Who did Houston give up for Kazmir?
Just a couple pitching prospects, nothing major. No.
Did we have something compared to that we could have gave them?
Oh, I'm guessing so. I really don't think. I mean, they looked in on Kazmir, but they really were never too far in on him like they were on Zobrist.
So what they give up for Zobrist? KC
gave up that Sean Manaea, and they gave up another pitcher in Aaron Brooks.
So,
but
do we have four pitching prospects we could have gave up to bring in?
I mean, Sean Manaea he's not as good as Tyler Glass now. He's not as good as Jamison Taillon. He's better than Nick Kingham.
Are those dudes any good?
Yeah, I mean,
how?
You could say the same thing about Manaea, though. What do you mean? Tyler Glass now is dominating. He actually has 22 Ks in his last 12 innings pitched. He's dominating.
He's a starter?
Oh, yeah. This guy is better than Garrett Cole, in my opinion. I've been saying this for years.
Oh, hell no.
Well, listen, I'm telling you, man.
Oh, hell no.
You watch.
All right, where's he at? Double A?
Yeah, he's in Double A. He's going to be moved up to Triple A later this season, and then we'll
all right,
probably
so
see him next season.
We had assets along the line. We could have gave what Houston and Kansas City gave up.
Well, yeah, we could have.
Them too.
Like I said, they really weren't in on Kazmir, it didn't seem like, but they definitely could have gave something better for Zobrist if they really wanted to. They decided not to. They're happy with...
What's Zobrist again? Right fielder?
Oh, he can play any position outside of catcher. And
he did it all. He can do it all.
He can do it all. I'd actually think he'd be playing a lot of first base if he came over here.
Mm.
But... I mean, they still have room for one more bat to bring in, and a lot of the talk is on Mike Napoli, actually.
Didn't we say earlier he's Boston?
Well, listen, here's the thing.
Done with him, dude.
Well, here's the thing. Everyone was saying Pedro's gone, he's done, we're going to trade him. Mike Napoli was actually the replacement they were talking about for him. Now...
Why?
Well, yeah, I say why, too. Pedro's had a better season at the plate, for sure. I mean, Napoli's a better defender, obviously. But now they're saying, hey, we're going to keep Pedro Alvarez for some reason. Although, after the remarks made by Clint Hurdle and what he said about him and what Huntington said about him and about his performance, and then other GMs coming out and saying Huntington is offering him to everyone, I mean, this is... completely surprising to me, and it still wouldn't surprise me if they ended up dealing him anyways. I mean, it's just words.
So what are you saying? That they talked about his? I'm not.
Yeah, they came
in. They come out and said he's doing good.
No.
In the background.
No, Hurdle and Huntington. I mean, they haven't said anything all season.
This was weeks ago.
No, this was just within the past week. They came out and criticized his performance and pretty much said we're going to deal him, you know what I mean? And then a couple days later, he hits a couple home runs. Oh, we're not going to deal him. Well, the thing was, no one wanted him. probably.
There's
I mean,
no value, honestly.
somebody would have taken him if you'd have said, "Hey, we'll give you a low-level A prospect for him." And you know what? Why do that? If you have to, put Pedro on the bench, and he's a bench bat, and it's just like trading a prospect for him at this point.
Sella, was it a good move or bad move for the Pirates management to publicly just like be on the record of they're shopping him, and then
I don't like it.
Wouldn't they have realized they weren't going to get much?
I don't think.
So now you're in his head with this.
I don't think
this
it's
BS.
ever a good idea for a team, an organization in any sport to come out and publicly say, "Hey, we're actively trying to deal this player," unless it's like, I mean, there's small situations, you know what I mean, nearing the end of deals or whatever.
Here's the thing: they didn't come out.
They basically criticized this guy and damaged his psyche, and pretty much said that, "Hey, we don't want you. You're not even good enough to be here." And now all of a sudden they're like, "Well, I guess you are."
Yeah.
So it just doesn't make sense to me. The Pirates organization never makes sense.
I agree to a point. Now, it wasn't Huntington coming out and saying we're trying to deal this guy. It's other GMs coming out and saying they're dealing him. They're trying to give him away to anyone.
Well, yeah. If they're trying,
but they are criticizing him publicly in the past week. So I agree with Jim in a way that you give this guy, just give him away. Give him to someone. Let him continue his career somewhere else. If you hate him that bad, give him to someone else and let him succeed somewhere else.
Decide what your opinion is on him. I'm sick of them saying he's good, and then he's bad, and then he's good, and then he's bad, and they're going to deal him, and they're not going to deal him. It's just ridiculous, and it's stupid and annoying, and he doesn't like it. No wonder he doesn't want to move to first base and learn a new position, because the team's not even behind him.
I mean, they seem to be behind him up until this past week. Like you said, man, it was beat writers coming out and just talking crap on this guy. It wasn't really the front office, but over the past week, it has been in the front office. That's why you have to get rid of this guy. You already said you don't want him, so let him succeed somewhere else. Now you're just... Everyone knows you don't want him here, but he's going to be starting for you. I just don't...
They figured out that there's no better bat at first base available now.
They should have known that.
Yeah. I mean,
there's a horde of better gloves there. I mean, you have Sean Rodriguez. He's a better glove right away. But the bat of Pedro is not there. And when Mercer goes down and Harrison goes down, and both of their injuries aren't the type of injury you just come back at 100% for, so they don't really know what they're going to get out of those guys. And that's not their faults. I'm not saying anything bad about Mercer or Harrison, but you don't know what you're going to get out of them, so you can't
exactly
lose.
What you're getting out of them.
Not when they come back from those types of injuries. Those are not injuries you come back from and play great day one. Those are injuries. Mercer's injury is very similar to what happened to Le'Veon Bell, and he hasn't even been at 100% up until training camp now.
Well, as of right now, they don't have to come back and shine there. They got AR and Gung, so it's not like they have to come back and be King Kong the first day either.
It's going to be the whole rest of the year, dude. It's not going to be till next season before those guys are 100%.
Yeah, I'm not going to believe
as soon as Jay comes back, he's making an impact.
I believe
kidding me, dude?
Too.
He's not even going to be able to. Guys go out because they get blisters on their hands.
Listen, man, he's already been thrown and he looked fine.
It's hitting. He's not going to be able to squeeze the bat.
I don't believe that at all.
Fingers.
Trust me.
Yeah.
Your thumb is the thing that grips everything. If you can't squeeze with your thumb, if you have pain, you're not going to be able to bat.
He's not going to play if he can't grip the bat.
Yeah, that's the thing. The projection is he'll be back by the beginning of August at latest, they're saying. And if he's not healthy, he won't be back by then. That's the bottom line.
He's going to play through pain the rest of the year until he has the amount of time it takes in the offseason.
Well, listen, there might be some soreness, but it's not like
and tears it up. Are you going to say what a trooper for playing through pain?
He's not gonna.
What do you mean he's not gonna?
It's not gonna happen.
You said he wasn't gonna be good in the first place, so there's no reason to believe what you say about that.
As soon as he comes back, he's gonna.
I get my information straight from a real athletic trainer, so.
Well, that's great, but that means nothing to me actually.
Jay,
listen, they'll come back and they'll be fine.
I've seen that injury a million times, so.
Give me some baseball players this year that had a similar injury that came back and struggled.
I don't know because I didn't talk to. I'm not talking about other baseball players. I'm saying I talked to an athletic trainer.
Okay, but I want to know.
This injury
I want to know. Okay, just give me one baseball
opinion,
player that had a similar injury that came back and could not play the rest of the season. Just played like garbage.
I don't
just
watch
give me
baseball.
One exactly. So you don't know for sure what is going to happen. I'm
telling you that a freaking doctor said that when a player has this injury, that until they have a full offseason to recover, their thumb is not going to be 100%.
And I don't give a shit.
Okay, so you're smarter than a doctor.
Okay, so you know more than anybody here just by listening to an athletic trainer.
who knows more about sports medicine than you do. So,
But I don't care.
Yeah, okay.
He can come back and play good baseball,
Light
and
it
so
up.
can Jordy Mercer. And if they can't, they will not be back. And
whatever.
they're both going to be back by the beginning of August, and they'll be good players. For
They
it,
won't be
just
100%.
like they have the past season and a
Yeah,
half.
they probably won't be 100%, but I don't think that's going to bring their production down.
Not
No,
being
it's
100%
not.
doesn't bring your production down.
They'll be fine. You said this at the beginning of the season about Kutch. He wouldn't be any good because his knee was
Well,
freaking horrible
He
when he
started
couldn't run.
off. He started off beat.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. Then he was fine about 20 days later.
I don't even want to get into Kutch there. I mean, I don't think he's fine. He's
He's
slumping
batting around
lately.
300, man.
Oh, okay. Stats. I don't know. His last.
But anyways,
his last
let's
5
get
or
back
6
to
games,
this
yeah.
Mike Napoli thing we started talking about here for a minute. Now,
That's about how much we care about Mike Napoli.
Well,
We don't-
listen.
I mean,
are you gonna let me talk about Mike Napoli?
mention him, but I think it's garbage.
Well, listen, we're not going to bring him in now to be the starter. He'd actually be a platoon player with Pedro and be playing the lesser. So he's actually just a bench bat, and it would be an upgrade offensively over Sean Rodriguez when you're facing a lefty. I mean, this guy has hit something like 11 home runs this season. So, I mean, at least it gives you a little bit more offense when you're facing a lefty. And we mentioned before, they'll probably be facing a lefty in the playoffs if they get into that one-game wild card.
Well, the Pirates missed out on, I'm not saying every big move they could have made. I mean, there might still be a sneaky move they can slide
Oh,
in
no,
there.
man, there's a
but
lot.
now, the
There's a
best
lot
thing,
of big names still out
the
there.
best thing
What do
they're
you
going to be
mean?
able
We
to
went
do
through 'em all. Okay.
is get a better right-handed bat to platoon at first base and maybe right field, depending on when they think Jay Hay's going to be back. Or
There's
not.
only room for one, so
We went through all
unless
those
the guy can play
dudes.
both,
There was not
that's
one
not
guy
gonna
we wanted
happen.
to bring
Nah,
in.
They're
Well,
not gonna.
I'd cut Corey Hart if I could freaking get somebody better than him.
He's on the DL, man. He's not on the 25-man
Cut him.
roster. Well, that's great. He's not going to be on the 25-man roster.
Cut him,
when
get
the
somebody
playoffs
else,
start.
put him on the
Designate
DL, just
him.
pretend like they're hurt, and then bring
Designate
him back
that
in and
dude.
let him play. That's how bad Hart is, dude. He shouldn't even be allowed to be on the DL.
Send him to Indy.
Okay, so you guys aren't really making sense
They
at
should
this
have
point.
buried
Yeah,
him.
no,
There
we're
is
just-
no
yeah,
room
we're-
for Hart to release and bring in another guy. It
He's
doesn't
just
work
there.
like
Yeah,
that.
he's just sitting there.
Well, they can get rid of Gorky's Hernandez or whoever the hell else they got in that lineup whose name I can barely pronounce.
Gorkys Hernandez
Foreman.
is on the DL. And like I said, they got Marte.
Yeah.
Count these out when I say these. Marte, Kutch,
2.
Polanco, Aram, Gung,
5.
Walker, Pedro, Cervelli, Harrison,
9.
Mercer, Stewart, Rodriguez.
13.
That's 13? I thought it was 12. 3, 6, 9, 12. Nice try, though. But listen, that's 12 players there that are going to be on the team. So you got room for one more. You're going to carry 13 players. That is when Mercer and Harrison come back, though, obviously. But you can't be adding starters with guys coming back that you need to keep on your 25-man roster when they do come back. So there's that room for one. And it might be Mike Napoli. Hopefully it's someone else. But they could also add a couple bullpen arms. I mean, Camanero's been struggling. Bastardo's been better recently. But overall,
Designate
I'm
either
not too
one of them
happy.
for assignment if you could have improved them.
If Gung keeps playing well, Mercer doesn't even come back.
Well,
into
But let
the-
me point out that the Pirates are deathly afraid of Gung playing more than 130 games, and that's been reported by every single beat
Why?
writer.
Because he gets some cash.
No, because he's never played more than 130 games. They're not saying he can't do it, but they don't know what's going to happen afterwards. Freaking young players
Yeah, I
come
don't
up
know
all
if
the time, and
they're
they're
afraid of
not.
it.
Dude, I've heard it from every single beat writer for the Pirates.
I don't give a crap what beat writers say, though.
I don't
They're the
think-
ones who are there and talking to the team, man.
Yeah.
So how do they
Do
know?
you think they're saying
hang
we're
around- they're closer to
terrified?
the team than you are.
Do you think the GM comes out and say we're terrified to have Gung play over 100 games? Terrified.
They probably
They might say,
pick
"Hey,
up-
we
no,
never
they don't-
seen this happen. We'll have to see how it happens." They're not.
No,
oh my
they
God,
ask-
what's
they ask
gonna
a
happen?
question.
Well, when
Plus,
he's your
Mercer's
starter
gonna be
and your
coming
other
back.
two starters are hurt, and you're going to have to rely on this guy down the stretch. If he hits a wall
Well,
at
listen,
130 and
I don't
falls
think
off,
They're
then
coming
you're
back
screwed.
in a month,
He's not
man.
hitting
I
the
don't
wall.
know why you can't get this through your mind. Harrison and
I know
Mercer
when
will
they're
be
coming
back
back.
in a month. So if Gung struggles in a month, then you got Mercer or Harrison there.
Who I
still.
both think will struggle down the stretch because of their injuries.
Yes, we know you do.
Okay, well then.
Although you can't
But
give me one example of someone else doing it.
Oh man, I'd like to give you an example.
Yeah, go ahead.
Who's out? I don't know. Anybody. Though some big white dude.
Well,
What's his
listen,
name?
man,
What's that dude?
People don't come back
Who's that dude
unless
with
they're
Cade?
healthy.
Well, when your job
Yeah,
as a shortstop
obviously.
is to be agile and break on balls and be able to move laterally quickly and you're not going to be able to do that because your
With a
knee's
bad
going to be
thumb?
shaky. I'm talking about Mercer. Your
Well,
knee's going to
yeah.
be shaky because your MCL's blown out. The exact movements that you have to do is with the MCL's holding your knee together.
I don't.
So,
I agree with what his opinion. I respect
But
his
he
opinion.
won't come back until he's healthy.
Right,
That's
right.
the whole point.
But
They're not going to bring him back with an
He's
MCL
only
injury.
going to be 85%, 90%.
No, they won't bring him back at
saying.
85%.
They're not going to know. He's going to say he's 100, but he's
No,
not really.
Dude, you have to go through minor league rehab assignments before you come back. I mean, he's going to have to go through some minor league games, and if he's struggling, they're going to know.
So then they're coming back 100%. There's going to be no lingering effects from these injuries the rest of the year.
I mean,
there has to be some. Come on now.
There could be some small, but 85%, that's ridiculous. They would never bring him back at 85% because that would not help the team.
Right.
well, if they think Mercer at 85% is better than his replacements, then
No,
But he's,
never.
Mercer at 85%.
Gung can play 200 games. He ain't going to hit no wall. I don't agree with any
I mean,
of that.
it could happen, but
Malarkey.
I highly doubt that the Pittsburgh Pirates are terrified of that happening.
There's no way.
I'm sure it runs through their head that it could happen, and that's why they have the versatility that they have, and they wanted to bring in a Ben Zobrist type player, another versatile player that could give them more flexibility and a deeper roster. But we'll see.
I'm just happy they didn't bring in Clint Barnes.
they still might.
They
No.
could look at a starting pitcher too. Charlie Morton's been struggling recently.
They
Jeff
bring in
Walk's been
Barnes.
pitching great though,
Well,
so
I'll
I
say
keep
once,
him in the
say it
rotation.
again. They bring in Barnes. I'm done with them.
I mean,
Might as well just bring Rod Barajas back too.
if Barmas, I mean,
Bring
it'd be
Kevin
better.
Young, the platoon at
Tell
first
me this:
base.
would you rather have Barmas or Travis Ishikawa?
Neither.
Well, that's great, but if you had to
Well,
choose one,
You already got one. Might as well just ride them out. They're gonna look. The
all right.
management.
Well, if
the
you rather
management
have
will look
Travis
more
Ishikawa,
stupid.
then you do that. But
Let's bring in Sandy Alomar too. Let's bring in a couple old. Let's bring in all the old dudes. Who else plays? Jay Bell will come
Sandy
play.
Alomar does not play. Neither does Jay Bell. I don't
That's
know.
about where they're going. I'm gonna bring in these old heads.
Well, they had to bring in Aram, man.
I liked Ramirez trade.
They had.
Oh,
Well, listen.
I'll like it when he gets a hit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it'd
he
be
is
nice.
0
Listen,
for-
he's 0 for 7 since coming over to the Bucks. He's hit cleanup in both games he played with them. There's still suggestions of putting him at first base when Harrison comes back.
That's for the
I really
birds.
don't see that
No.
happening for some reason.
It
But
better not happen.
listen, man, they had Harrison and Mercer go down. They had to do something. They made a quick deal for one of the better, not better third baseman in the game, one of the better
Season.
available third baseman in the game because it was him or Juan Uribe. Now, I was thinking shortstop, maybe go with Gene Segura, but a lot of people saying their offense is struggling. Obviously, you don't want to bring in a shortstop if your offense is struggling. You'd rather bring in a third base. Now you got Gung at short, who is another above average hitter. So
Well,
you're just adding to your offense instead by bringing in a third baseman rather than a shortstop. So I see their point, but there's a couple shortstops out there that I like more than Aram, but Aram gives more offense in the end.
Shortstops and Aram. That's what you said.
Yeah, I was talking shortstops. Listen, when Mercer got hurt, you could bring in a shortstop or a third baseman. You know what I mean? Because you had Gung at third, and I loved how Gung was playing third base, so I'm thinking bring in a shortstop.
Right.
But instead, they moved Gung over to short and bring in a third baseman
Okay.
because third basemen are traditionally better hitters than shortstops.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
And then you look, and it's Uribe or Aram as the available third baseman.
Uribe walked it off and had.
Oh yeah,
sick D
Uribe.
plays
That's what I
by
said.
the other game.
Before
He wasn't
this
bad.
Aram trade, I was thinking about bringing Uribe in, but when they brought over Aram, I had no problems with
All right,
it.
well,
He wasn't my first selection.
Stay up,
though.
AR, and let's get a hit tonight.
Yeah, Pittsburgh starts a series with Minnesota tonight. They are 6.5 behind St. Louis right now, sitting at 57-41. Just won 3 out of 4 against one of the better teams in the National League in the Washington Nationals.
Great series.
Yes, it was a great series, but they got off to a slow start after the All-Star break, so now they have some ground to catch up on the St. Louis Cardinals, which it's going to be tough, so we'll have to see what happens from here.
What is that? I see 4.5, 5-game wild card spot we still hold on to though.
Yeah, we own the first wild card only by a couple games over the San Francisco Giants, actually, but we have a 5-game lead on the first team out of the playoffs.
That's all. I mean,
Which
that's
is the
all we
Chicago Cubs. It looks like
Yeah,
they're
going to be
dropping off.
battling. Yeah, they're dropping, but they're going to be battling all year.
Oh yeah,
We're going to have to pay attention to San Francisco, obviously, and the Cubs. I don't know about the Mets. Like you were saying, they handled Washington, which was surprising after that slow start. Now they got to go to Target Field for the first time, I think.
Yeah,
And,
Minnesota's a pretty good team, sitting
and-
in second place right now in their division at 52-46. So it's
Oh.
another tough series.
It is. Is it only 2 games, though?
Yeah, just a 2-game series. Morton tonight, Leary on it tomorrow.
Yeah. Night day in Minnesota. I love it. Twins are one of my old school squads, dude. I love them. I got relatives up there.
Then
They
go.
got sorry, but they always got it done with a low payroll too.
I mean, I wouldn't say they always got it done.
They've got it. They had like 10 or 11 straight playoff
Listen,
appearances.
man, I'm not trying to back up the past 20 seasons they had under Kevin McClatchy and all that garbage. I'm backing up this new
right,
regime
okay.
who has built something.
I'll take it. So,
But then they go into Cincinnati, another tough series because they struggled against the NL Central this season. So
no Cueto though, so we're good with that.
It does help a lot, actually.
Believe it.
Then they start a homestand. Chicago Cubs and LA Dodgers. Wrap it up, man.
And I'll be there Friday night. Dodgers, you ain't got nothing on me.
Last time I went to a Dodger game, the Pirates lost like 14-1.
We'll find
Doesn't surprise
out.
me.
We'll find out.
Fans, if you like the segment, you can follow us on Twitter at bet_the_spread. You can follow me on Twitter at betjimthewin. Check out the website at thespreadnews.simplesite.com. Go to our Facebook page at facebook.com/betthespread. Check out our YouTube page. Subscribe to that. Like that. Just Google the spread and just keep reading it all day long. Put it on your podcast, your phones, your computers, your cars, all day.
Real sports.